Hi, my name's Ishmael and today we're going to be talking about UPRNs and USRNs. What are they, what are they used for, and what are they likely to be used for in the future? So, what is a UPRN? Well, a UPRN is a unique property reference number. So this is a unique number which is purely specific to your individual property. So for example, your planning and your applications are all under this reference. So what does a UPRN store? Well, a UPRN stores the exact details of everything that has happened on that bit of land. So, for example, when you buy a house, you have a land. You have a bit of land, and on that bit of land, you have land registry. Everything's registered on land registry. Then you will have your building put on. So on there, on a UPRN, you will also have your planning permission rights, every application that has been applied for on that property, every application that is being accepted or rejected on that property. You'll have all the information regarding the meters that are installed on the property, who the electric and other companies are with the property, and so on. They will also register every gas safety certificate registered and every electrical safety certificate registered, along with all other certificates registered to that building. For building regs, for planning permission, for alterations, for new extensions, for loft conversions, absolutely everything is registered under the UPRN. This data is stored up until demolishment of the property and the change of address of the land. Now this is not only for properties, but it's for other things such as even telephone boxes and sites like the London Eye. Every single place in the UK, including bus stops, has this address. Now, at the moment, we have this and we also have the street address. Now, the USRN is the unique street reference number, and that will record every activity that's gone on in the street, how many times the street has been dug, who's dug it, why it's been dug, and the maintenance in the area, which will give them an idea of how much that street is costing the government, costing the local authorities and costing the agencies. Now, all this information is very useful for a government body. But how does it affect property investors? Well, at the moment, it doesn't affect property investors yet. However, the plans are for estate agents to be able to use the UPRN to check things like the EPC of the property, whether it's got gas safety certificates, whether it's got electrical safety certificates, and whether they're up to date, when they were last checked, and things like this. Now, the reason for this is because they're planning on bringing in property MOTs. Now, as they've just released the UPRNs, they're not going to be bringing the property MOTs in yet, but they are planning on bringing them in. Now, I believe they are probably going to start bringing them in around the same time, but we have no confirmations, but around the same time as the new EPC in 2024-25. I think that's when they're going to start bringing them in. They're going to start registering whether you've had your boiler changed. They're going to start registering the EPC of the property to make sure you're legit to be renting out the properties, because they're trying to penalise landlords. They've been trying to do it for a while, but the reason why they've been doing it in stages is because they want to be able to, the rich want to be able to move into properties that are new builds. So the rich are going into developments and new builds, getting the EPC up to an IC and above, and they're allowing all the smaller landlords to be into the older properties. So what their plan is for the smaller landlords to be kicked out of the smaller sector and for the bigger landlords to be staying in the bigger sectors of development and new builds. That's only my opinion. I might be completely wrong, so don't take it as gospel. So, where will these UPRNs be useful? Like I said, they'll be useful in the letting industry, and they'll be useful when they start bringing in licensing nationwide. Now, they've talked about this, bringing this licensing in, but we haven't had a confirmation date. They are talking about possibly 2022, 2023, where they're going to start bringing in nationwide licensing for landlords. Now, if they bring in nationwide licensing for landlords, the UPRN would be perfect because it allows them to reference every property. Now, they could cross-reference it to have every single person, when you reference the property and it finds the landlord, it will also reference all their other properties with their other UPRN numbers, which allows them to keep a track of landlords, whether they're paying taxes, whether they're not, whether they're keeping their properties up to standard, whether they're letting them through agencies or letting them individually. All this information will be very useful once they start regulating the entire sector. I believe the whole sector regulation is coming. I believe it's probably going to be around the 2025 mark. I don't think it's going to be before then, but I think you should be prepared for it, and therefore you should make sure you keep your properties up to standard, keep your tenants happy, and always stick to regulations. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, whack that bell notification icon to get notified of videos coming out each and every week.